Vero Beach and then Tampa. Just wanted to test out the camera. We're going to be recording once we get there, looking at the area. And thank you for the support, and the YouTube subscribers, the followers, and people that just been supporting this entire time, and the new people. All right, thanks. And I got the mic hooked up this time. Hopefully it sounds good and clear. So we'll check it out. Taking a minute to walk back to the car to get some gum for the kid. The oldest child, the 6-year-old, spoke to me, and he walked up to me. I wasn't recording. I wish I was. I had stopped the camera, but he walked up to me. He's really smart. He's 6 years old now. In the video, I said he was 5 years old at the time. He came up to me and corrected me, and he told me, "I'm not 5, I'm 6." And then he told me his mother's missing, and that his mother was kidnapped. And I don't know, that was really kind of touched me. It was really heartfelt. And I changed the subject, and we talked about school. He's homeschooling. He's doing virtual school. He does recess. They learn to write and all this stuff. He's a really sharp and smart kid. I was really surprised how just smart he was, intelligent. Hey, welcome everybody. Gonna get started soon. Thank you, Katrina. Appreciate that. Welcome. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Good afternoon. A couple of things we're going to talk about this story with regards to Samuel Olson, but before we get into that, we're just going to warm up, relax. I want to have a little conversation with you guys. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, especially on Saturday. And thank you for the stars, Christina and Katrina. And Christina, yeah, definitely messaged me about the missing person in Fort Lauderdale. The video that I just played now in the beginning, that's a missing woman from North Florida. Veronica Reyes Diaz. I went up there with Pink Justice. I met the family. This was in 2020. She went missing January 18, 2020. And there's another woman up there too, close in the area that I covered, that went missing too. And so if somebody reached out to me yesterday that they have another missing woman up there from the same area, and so I'm supposed to talk to, I think, the grandmother or something today. So I just kind of wanted to play that because I think about these people all the time. That Veronica Reyes Diaz, that was probably one of the most humbling experiences I've had on YouTube in this journey, where I actually met the family, put that video together for them at Met Pink Justice, and we went back to their house and we ate in the backyard. Like, super humbling, super nice people. Crazy, weird story. So that's that. Now, also, for the people that watch me regularly, I've been having all these internet issues on and off with Comcast. Thank you, Crystal, for the stars. Appreciate that. On and off issues with Comcast. They're supposed to be coming out Tuesday. The Comcast guy calls me today. It was a little bit weird. He's like, "Are you going to stream today?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he was like, "What time are you streaming?" I've never had Comcast tell me that. And so he's like, "No, I just want to see if you have the issues." And so I said, "All right, let me come and do this little update. I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit. We can talk about Theresa." Her ex came forward and spoke, and at the same time, kind of test the internet. So when he calls me back later, I can tell him how it went. They said they made some adjustments or whatever. We'll see if it's actually true or not. So, hey, Alexa, Leanne, seeing the same names right now. Oh, Salty, Sonia, BL, Rochelle, Christine, thanks for coming by. And there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on right now. I've seen so many stories. I'm kind of focused on the Samuel Olson thing, but I'm going to veer. Like I said, I'm going to talk to this person today with regards to the other story, the other missing person. I don't know how many updates are going to keep coming forward with Samuel Olson. I mean, I'm sure there's always going to be something, but I don't know if major things are going to keep coming. So I'll still be following. What I wanted to do first is I wanted to play this clip. Somebody in the group posted this clip, and it's kind of a brief timeline and an overview, because a lot of times the people that join don't really know or are a little bit confused or asking questions. This helps a little bit before we get to the ex, Theresa's ex, which they have kids together.
With the rundown of what everyone's talking about tonight. Right now, Houston police confirming that the body believed to be Sam Olson is now back in Houston for an autopsy to confirm it is him, and then how he died, as court documents show he may have died long before he was reported missing, meaning before his recent birthday, which would make him 5 at the time, not 6 as reported. But his dad's fiance was today arraigned and given no bond on tampering with evidence charges after she was found with the body. Our Ivory Hecker joining us live after combing through today's court papers and getting a lot more detail on this mystery gripping the nation. Ivory.
Caitlin, yeah, I'm here at Holbrook Elementary School in Cypress. Court records indicate a school employee here told us that Dalton Olson used to bring his son to school here, but those court records also shine light on when little Samuel may have died and how his body may have ended up in Cypress. Newly released criminal complaint against Theresa Balboa claims she showed her male roommate the dead body of 6-year-old Sam Olson back on May 10th, 2.5 weeks before reporting him missing. The complaint filed by Houston police states Balboa lived with her roommate on Gulf Freeway in Webster. The document states on May 10th, the roommate stated he observed the complainant Sam Olson unresponsive on a bed. He stated he also observed bruising on the CW's body. The roommate stated he and the defendant, Theresa Balboa, placed the complainant Sam Olson's corpse in a bathtub where he remained for 2 days. The complaint states Balboa's roommate then bought duct tape and a plastic tote from Walmart, and he and Balboa then wrapped the 6-year-old's body in a plastic sheet, put it in the container, and stuck it in a Webster storage unit. Little Sam's body apparently stayed in that storage unit for 2.5 weeks until the day Theresa was seen helping in the search. Tanya and Dalton Olson say she disappeared and stopped answering their calls during that search. The criminal complaint now reveals where she went. According to police, Balboa called her friend Dylan in Cold Spring and asked for his help because she was, quote, involved in an altercation. Police say Dylan told them he delivered Balboa and her plastic container to the motel in Jasper, then called in a Crime Stoppers tip, which led police to the discovery of Balboa and the child's body. Balboa was arrested within hours of the tip being called in. And we are not naming Balboa's roommate in this case so far because he is not facing charges at this time. The only person we know facing charges is Balboa. Now, Dalton Olson told me by phone on Tuesday that the last time he spoke to his son Samuel on the phone was May 21st, which would have been 11 days after Samuel was reported dead in this court record. So we've got to connect the dots on that discrepancy.
So that was a big deal.
Police.
Okay, this was just a little recap. We were talking about this yesterday.
Did Balboa. Now, Dalton Olson told me by phone on Tuesday that the last time he spoke to his son Samuel on the phone was May 21st.
So he said, the father, Dalton, the last time he spoke to Samuel was May 21st on the phone. From all the reports and the court documents, he's been dead since May 10th. Even then, you know, there's a receipt where the roommate purchased duct tape and I think the tote and the bags or whatever else. So how would the father have spoken to Samuel? And then supposedly on the day after, the May 22nd, he calls and speaks with Theresa and he hears Samuel in the background. Okay. So that's one of the big details. And she went more in depth a little bit on one of the other videos that we're going to play. Before we get into this, the ex that spoke out, I want to show you some of these posts. Oh, my stuff popping up now. Let me see if I can get you a better screen. So Jill, this is supposedly like the person that I believe is advocating for the biological mother, Sarah. And she's made some interesting posts. And by the way, we're going to talk about GoFundMe's too in a second. And I want to know how you guys feel about this GoFundMe thing. But she posted here, Jill, says, Dalton Olson went to court to continue to fight his ex, Sarah, for custody of their child on May 24th. Exactly 2 weeks after the child was killed. Then on May 27th, filed a false police report with Theresa Balboa claiming Sarah took him. Now, supposedly, according to the court documents, Theresa calls Dalton that morning, says what happened, and then I believe he's the one that reported it. But still, this is very weird. There's an inconsistency with, you say you spoke to your son, but your son was dead according to court documentation and the records. And then it says here, on May 28th, he filed for custody of Samuel. This is according to her. To me, I don't know, is that coincidence? That's pretty crazy. And then on May 28th, he filed, which, let me look real quick. Because May 27th, let me check my little quick notes, my timeline. Of course, it doesn't want to open up now. I'm having issues. I feel like I've been hacked or something, like something's going on. Yeah, all my files are gone. All my notes are gone. Wow. Let me see. I think I can pull it up. All the weird stuff happens when I'm live streaming. It doesn't happen when like I'm offline, like not streaming. But I know at the top of my head, May 27th is when, okay, the files are coming up, was when he was reported missing. But anyway, she says, this is the most sadistic and evil thing I have ever seen in family law case. There's no way from May 10th to May 27th, he didn't know his child was either missing or dead. Why would anyone leave their child with their fiance and her ex-boyfriend? None of this makes any sense. Oh, ex-boyfriend. Oh, that's the roommate. And I've heard multiple people say that. That's who that is. Unfortunately, my notes are all messed up. Amazing. Amazing Windows. Windows is kind of trash. I'll leave it alone. So none of this makes any sense aside from Dalton being aware of the situation and covering it up. If he died on May 10th, why wasn't he at school the week prior? Which supposedly, we've all talked about this multiple times. The grandmother and Dalton claimed that Samuel was sick. they left Samuel with Theresa, or Dalton left Samuel with Theresa because Dalton lives with his father and he's elderly and the virus. Still 2 weeks though, or actually a little more than that, I think. Let's see. Yeah, over 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks, I believe, since he was dead. Oh, and here's another thing that I want to show you guys, which is kind of interesting. I wish my notes were working. Of course, it's not. So she posted, Jill, she said, today I feel like at least something has gone right. The Galveston County DA saw through Dalton Olson lies, and he dropped the charges against Sarah Olson. She's now going to be able to focus on solely the very tough road ahead. She has to bury her baby and see that everyone involved is brought to justice. Texas really needs to consider laws to get police to enforce court orders. If they had done that instead of saying it's a civil matter, Samuel Olson would be alive today with his mom. Instead, she was arrested for trying to get her child back. And less than 1 year later, her boy is gone. There's a lot to be learned. This is a pretty good timeline of what happened. She put a link to another article. But let's see, what is this? Yeah. So this document, finally my notes are popping up. Okay, that's good. We're there. We're working there. Let me fix you guys. Actually, let me save it. Bear with me 1 second. I just want to get you guys the better quality if I can help it. There we go. How's that? How's that? All right. So this was filed on June 4th, 2021. June 4th, 2021. And it says here, State of Texas versus Sarah Olson, motion to dismiss. Interest of justice. The foregoing motion having been presented to me on this day, 4th of June, and the same having been considered, therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed. That said, above entitled and number cause be and the same hereby dismissed. Oh, so it was dismissed. Huh. I guess it was dismissed. There was a previous incident, and on one of the lawyer videos, the attorneys for the biological mother, they spoke on it because one of the reporters asked a question about some incident with the car where allegedly she hit him with a car, but I think he said that she was trying to get her child back and she was trying to leave with Samuel. So there was some incident that happened with regards to that. And now we're going to get, well, let's wait for the GoFundMe. Let's get into the X first, and then we'll do the GoFundMe stuff together. So, okay, so Theresa's ex comes forward. He did a little interview. If anybody has a longer version of this, this is kind of chopped up and cut up for the TV, I guess, for the media. But the guy's name is Alex Rizzo, and I believe he had two. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. I thought this was the ex with the kids. Yeah, she's the mother of his two children. Right. Okay, we're good. We're good. And so the other thing that I missed yesterday during the stream is that she was planning on leaving to Louisiana, Theresa. So let me play this.
For the first time, the father of Balboa's two daughters is revealing new insight into her troubled past. Only ABC 13's Jessica Willey.
And Jessica, he told you that this situation scares him?
Yeah, Alex Rizzo says Theresa Balboa, the one he knew, was a good mother. He admits their relationship was unhealthy, sometimes even abusive. But while he says he's on a better path, she's in jail.
To know that somebody I loved, cared for, did that to a child, it hurts. it scares me.
There was a time when Alex Rizzo knew Theresa Balboa the best. They were together for at least 10 years. She is the mother of his 2 daughters.
I've known that girl for a long time, and I know that she's had problems. I know that she's had a difficult life, but you never think, I would never have thought something of this magnitude would ever happen.
Alex says they broke up 4 years ago. It was far from amicable. He moved to North Dakota and then Oklahoma for work. 2 months ago, he reached out to her to see if she needed help.
Well, I'm in the position that I'm in. Let me help you do better so that our kids can have their parents. And she went MIA.
In 2019, Theresa lost custody of their children. She didn't even show up to court. They are now being...
And we talked about this previously on one of the live streams. I know the live streams are somewhat long, so people miss some of the things. But yeah, there was a custody thing. She didn't show up to court. He didn't show up either, but I believe he wrote like a note and said, I think the circumstances, I don't know if he wasn't in the state or something. And also he asked the judge to give custody to his mother. I believe his mother has custody of the children, I believe it was 2 daughters. And somebody else stated that supposedly Theresa has another child, another son. I never heard about that. It's possible. Probably right. I don't know who the father is.
Raised by their grandmother, little girls 8 and 6 years old, around Samuel Olson's age.
All I've thought about since I found out about it is my kid in my children and that poor little boy. Like, to be dragged around in a bag in a box as if you're just a freaking trophy, that kills me for that little boy. That kills me for that mother. That kills me for that father. If he had nothing to do with it, then that kills me for him as a dad.
The 30-year-old says on either May 23rd or 24th, 2 weeks after police now believe Sam had died, Theresa contacted him.
She just called me out of nowhere and said, hey, is the offer to still come up there open? I told her, no, not anymore. And then she stopped replying. From what I've heard on the case, she had already done what she had did. And she had that little boy wherever she had him and was trying to use me to run away.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
Instead, according to court records, she turned to a male friend in San Jacinto.
And I wonder what kind of guys, and I'm not faulting the Dylan guy. I mean, even though some of the stuff, like, yeah, he went to the storage unit, he smelled the foul odor. He reported the incident. He did what he did. Who knows if that chick, he might have thought that woman was going to kill him or something. But, like, more of the roommate, too, which the roommate doesn't have any charges so far. Hasn't been charged. And I'm thinking, too, like, I don't know, they're going to use him as a witness, maybe lesser charges, or they're going to work a deal out with him. I don't know. But this is definitely, too, like, simp to the max, especially if that guy was her ex, the roommate.
County, who helped her get to Jasper before giving her up. The 29-year-old, who also has a son from a previous relationship, remains in jail, accused in Sam's death.
Okay, so the person in the chat was right. She has a son and from some other relationship. Okay.
Of killing that child, I hope she gets the worst things that could possibly happen to her. That's a child, and she's a mother. That little boy was younger than my daughter is. I know that the Theresa I knew at one point in time was a good person. Whatever she's become or whatever she is now, that's not the Theresa that I was in love with at one point. That's a conversation that now I have to have with my kids one day as to why they're going to have their mother again. That poor kid's mother will never have him back, and that kills me.
Jessica Willey, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
I still have never figured out that sound. But yeah, that's one of the things that I missed yesterday. The first was that she was gonna go on the run. Thank you, Monique. Sorry, Monique. Thank you, Monique. Appreciate that. Thank you for the stars. I wonder, does that let people send messages on Facebook, or is it just the stars? I don't know. But yeah, so I missed that. Let's talk a little bit about the GoFundMe's, and then after that, I want to show you guys, if you haven't seen it. I know a lot of people have seen this. I haven't seen this. This is Theresa's first appearance in court. This is like the longer version. This is 8 minutes long, so we can watch this together. But let's briefly go over the GoFundMe's, and we'll leave Ivory for last. We'll watch the last portion of that video. So Jill here, which is like the advocate for the biological mother, they're doing a GoFundMe. Okay. She said, I have spoken with Sarah's mom. We will be getting all the information set up so all donations go directly to Sarah's bank. There may be some additions, I guess you meant additional links like Venmo coming soon as well. Please help Samuel's mom as she has to lay her child to rest and focus on getting justice. And so there's 2 GoFundMes, right? So this is the GoFundMe that Joe was referring to. This was just created, let's see. Oh, sorry, you guys can't even see that. My bad. We do here. This will do that. You guys can see that, right? Okay. Oh, 18 hours ago. There you go. So 18 hours ago, this was created. It says here, the world was watched as the horrific story of Samuel Olson's tragic death has been reported. Samuel was a sweet, loving boy with a kind soul and a gentle spirit. His mom, Sarah Olson, has had her whole world taken from her in one moment. And every day, more horrific details are being reported. These donations will go to lay her sweet boy to rest and help Sarah as she grieves this unimaginable loss and seeks justice for Samuel. So this is the one, right? And thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that. For some reason, I'm not seeing the messages. Okay, there we go, the sticker. And then there's another GoFundMe. And so I don't know who this person is that's organizing this, but I'm assuming this is on the dad's side. Let me read it. Maybe it says something to that. This was created 1 day ago. Samuel Olson was a sweet... Maybe, hold on. Get you bigger. There we go. Samuel Olson was a sweet child with a loving heart. This family has lost a loved one way too soon. Trying to help this family say goodbye to this precious little boy. Any amount you are able to give to assist this family of financial burden would be greatly appreciated as they deal with the tremendous emotional stress in the upcoming months. I don't know who this is, but I'm assuming that this is the dad's side or a friend of the family or something on that side. To me, with the GoFundMe's, because I've seen some of these situations happen before, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but there's a big mistrust, I think, with the public in general. Nobody knows like what to believe. Let me see what the chat's saying. There was... What are you guys saying about the GoFundMe's? Are these the only ones that are up? Have you seen others? Because sometimes 2 fake GoFundMe's come up. This one is legit. It seems like the one by Jill. I saw the one. This one, I guess, is from the dad's side. I just think there's a big mistrust. Maybe they can get it up. Maybe they'll get the trust. Maybe if they do a press conference, I don't know if they should do a press conference right now because there's so much legal stuff going on. Anything you say, can be used against you. I think, and like Veronica said, I think this is something that right now people are going to hold back on. Maybe as more details come out, maybe as more of the truth come out, because I think people are kind of wondering more of the biological mother's side, whether she says something or she doesn't. But more is kind of coming out as far as that whole thing where this was dismissed, this previous incident. And the lawyer, we saw her lawyers talking about the whole thing with the virus and the delays and all this stuff going on. And from what I've seen, the father's accounts are off. Obviously, Theresa's off. The father is also off. Unless they connect the dots, unless he has something to say about how did you speak to your son on the 21st if he was already dead on the 10th? How did that happen? And I want to switch it up. Let's do Ivory first, and then we'll do this one last. Let's do Ivory first. And I'm not going to play the whole thing. We played it yesterday. You can go to her Facebook and watch the video. We watched it yesterday. And, what I'm doing here.
As we are going live here in Cypress, outside of Holbrook Elementary School, where court records indicate that Samuel Olson attended school.
So we're going to skip to the 5:25 marker. Okay.
Dalton, the dad, is not mentioned much in that document. But he is mentioned as walking his son to school, and that the last time he was at school was April 30th. Now, Dalton and his mom, Sam's grandma, told me that Sam spent that final weekend in April at his grandma's house in Santa Fe, Dalton's mom's house, and that by June 2nd, or by May 2nd, which was the end of that weekend, the final weekend of April, okay, into May 2nd, that's a weekend he spent at Tanya's. He was not feeling well. Both Tanya and Dalton told me that Sam was not feeling well on May 2nd. So Sam said he lives here in Cypress, where I'm located right now. I'm gonna have to go live on TV here. Okay, I have time to talk. Sam was not feeling well. Dalton was supposed to bring him back here to Cypress, where he lives with his grandfather. So Dalton lives with his high-risk grandfather, high risk for COVID. If Sam had COVID, that would be really bad for Grandpa. So what he did is he took Sam directly to Webster, to Theresa's apartment, to quarantine for 2 weeks to make sure he didn't infect his high-risk grandfather. That is the story Dalton told me on Tuesday. And then apparently, according to this court record, Sam never made it out of quarantine alive. But get this, another thing Dalton told me on Tuesday, because he was talking to me a lot on the phone. He had chosen not to go on camera anymore. He wanted his mom to be the spokesperson for the family to keep the clarity alive. But Dalton told me on Tuesday that he would talk to his son on the phone throughout his son's quarantine in Webster. And he said that he spoke with little Sam most recently on the phone on May 21st. And then he said he also talked on the phone with Theresa on May 22nd, during which he heard his son Sam in the background, because his son is kind of a loudmouth little boy, joking, yelling at the TV. He was hearing his son in the background, he said, on May 22nd, which directly contradicts this new court document, which says that Theresa told her roommate Sam's dead on May 10th.
So that's a huge, like, red flag, you know, and this is not taking anything away from Theresa or the roommate situation. I don't know what's going on with that, but definitely it's not right. And I've mentioned before too, like, I don't know if he just blurted that out saying that. I mean, I don't know. He was talking to the reporter on the phone. I don't know if he said that to try to make it not look as bad. Like, okay, I really haven't talked to my child in this amount of time, a long period of time. You know, I don't know. And the other thing too is I saw multiple people posting that supposedly, allegedly, the grandmother somewhere stated that she spoke to Samuel on the phone a week prior. She said she physically saw him May 2nd. That was the last time. But, like, I've seen the comments. I haven't found or searched the article. I haven't really looked for it. But that supposedly she spoke to him a week prior. I don't know.
So Sam would have been dead for 11 days on May 21st when Dalton allegedly had that phone call with his son. So I'm just not sure that everything I'm hearing from everyone is true. Obviously, like police said, there's conflicting stories. This is a complicated case, but I thought I'd give you guys.
I was reading one of the comments.
It's an information dump on the information I'm getting. Dalton did admit to me he had not seen his son since May 2nd when he dropped him off in Webster to quarantine.
So May 2nd, that's a long time. So just again, reiterating really quickly, and then I'll go to the newer video with the court appearance. But so he said that he had not seen him since May 2nd, right? That's a a long time. That's almost a month. How long do people quarantine when they have the virus? Isn't it just like 2 weeks or something like that? I don't know. I don't want to keep harping on it, you know, but it is something that's notable that maybe they'll clear up, maybe they won't. I don't know. Didn't Bio Dad's parents have custody? No, I don't believe so. The grandmother, Tanya, spoke about that in the live press conference, and she said people were putting that out, and she said that's not true. She does not have custody. The biological mother's attorney spoke up, and she said that she had primary custody. And so she was supposed to have Samuel. There was some sort of thing that happened in the beginning of January 2020, and supposedly he took off with the child, and they've been trying to get the child back through the court system and all this kind of stuff. I have heard of crazy stories. Let me tell you, I've heard of crazy stories of people taking a child, running with them, people taking a child out of the country and disappearing, like just gone. I mean, I've heard of crazy stuff. Look at the other story recently with what's her name? Daphne Westbrook, I think. It's Daphne Westbrook, something like that. Daphne disappeared. She was gone, and I really felt like it was willingly, but it was a situation where, and I'm just going off the top of my head because I cover so many different things. The father was taking the child for the weekend. She goes with the father, gone. And he has money, he has resources. And now, I forgot how long she was gone for, but just recently, she was found. And she told people from the headlines that I'm seeing, ABC, that I was not kidnapped. Now, this is, a different situation, but I'm just putting it out that there are situations where these people will take a child and just be gone on the run. This guy I think was living off the grid.
But he said,
obviously, Dalton wasn't, and he wasn't at that sophistication. A lot of things don't add up.
But he talked to him most recently, May 21st. That's what he told me on the phone on Tuesday. This court document from Houston Police says that the people they interviewed, Theresa's roommate, apparently saw Sam dead on May 10th. We still don't know, how he died. That document doesn't say anything about how he died. But that's what we've got so far. What a tragic story. My heart goes out to this family. Can't imagine what the position they're in.
All right. So let's check out one of the latest videos. I haven't watched this yet. We can watch this together. And this was her first court appearance, Theresa. And this is from Brandon Walker on KPRC2. You can find him on Facebook too. He's like on the ground covering the story. I guess I gotta refresh. Okay. All right.
Her at this bond hearing. Ms. Keith, what is the state's request with regard to bond?
I'm urging the state's motion requesting a $500,000 bond, and I am opposed to a personal bond. The facts set forth in this warrant are terribly disturbing. Specifically, this 6-year-old complainant's father observed, had reported his son missing after he had been in the custody of this defendant. This defendant was interviewed, told the police that the complainant's biological mother and an unidentified individual that she claimed represented himself as a police officer had taken custody of the complainant from her residence, or from a residence in.
And that Susanna makes a good point. I don't know what's going on with that. That's what I'm saying. Some of the stories don't really add up. I don't mean to interrupt, sorry, but she said you can't be hiding a child when they're enrolled in a school. The bio mom gave him up. I don't know. That's not what her attorney said, but there's a little weirdness because the last time they say she saw her son physically was January 2020. We're in June right now, 2021. Over a year and a half. Now they're saying it was the court system and all that. That's what I'm saying. I think there's more stuff going to come out. I think with the GoFundMe stuff, that's why it's at where it's at, because there's a huge mistrust with the public. I don't think it's going to go anywhere until more information comes out, more revelations or of the truth or whatever, or details.
Harris County without consent. An employee from the complainant's school advised that the complainant was last at school on April 30th, 2021, which is when which is a month prior to when this defendant claimed that the complainant's mother had taken non-consensual custody of him. That defendant's statements were refuted by the surveillance footage provided by the complainant's mother, showing her at her own residence at the time the defendant claimed that she had come and taken custody of this complaining witness. The complainant's father told officers that the defendant told him on May 27th that the mother had come and taken custody. All of which was refuted by that surveillance video. Another individual, who is this defendant's roommate, told officers that he had seen the complainant at a residence on the Gulf Freeway on May 27th, 2021, along with this defendant and this defendant's mother, and that on May 10th, he stated he was contacted by the defendant, who advised him that the complainant was deceased, that he did observe bruising to the complainant's body when he arrived to that address on the Gulf Freeway, and that he and this defendant had placed the complainant's body in a bathtub where it remained for 2 days, that he had purchased duct tape and a plastic tote at a local Walmart on the 13th, which was verified by a receipt that was recovered, and that he and this defendant had wrapped the complainant's body in a plastic sheet, placed it into the tote, and took it to a storage unit located in Webster, Harris County, Texas. On June 1st.
All right, so to interject one more time, I see people talking about the school, and that's a really kind of interesting conversation. Is it possible for somebody to hide a child while they're enrolled in school? Jennifer said the school also says there is another address which is walking distance. That address, I believe, is Dalton's father's house, I believe, which is walking distance from the school, which they're probably living at, and that's in Cy-Fair ISD, way on the other side of town. Well, here's the thing. We were talking about it a little bit yesterday with the live stream. There's multiple addresses, and these people aren't staying in their own places under their own names, it seems, because Dalton, I believe, was staying with his father, which is close to that school. Theresa was staying with a roommate. I don't know if she's on the lease or not. She may not be. I don't know, which that wouldn't really have much to do with Samuel, really, I guess. And supposedly I heard that they were changing schools. I don't know what those school requirements are. It's probably different from place to place, depending on where you go. I mean, of course, I would think you have to have a child's name and stuff. I don't know that these schools are all of them registering it on the internet database where people can search a child. I don't know. Let's see what else they're saying. Okay.
The Jasper Police Department received a Crime Stoppers tip about the complainant in this case. They went to a motel located in Jasper County where they found this defendant. They found the tote that was described by the witness. They smelled the distinct odor of decomposition, human decomposition, in the motel room. And they did find what they believed to be the complainant's body wrapped in a black plastic bag, which was secured with duct tape, as described by the witness. They also spoke to another witness who stated that this defendant had asked him to come and pick her up. He met her in Cleveland, Texas, where they drove then to Webster and obtained the tote.
Right, and the reason I was asking that, Veronica, is then like there really would be no way to track a child, right? Like if you're moving in from school to school, or even if you enroll them, I would think, right? Or do the public schools keep some sort of database? I don't know, that like, I don't know, FBI or somebody could do a search.
From the storage unit, he took her and dropped her off at the motel, and then he is the one who reported the Crime Stoppers tip. Based on the fact that she was found in Jasper County with other information that she was en route to Louisiana per the statements in the motion, the fact that there is ongoing investigation as to the complainant's cause and manner of death, and that additional charges may be filed once that investigation is complete. We are asking for that amount, also based on the fact that she's currently on bond for a felony domestic violence charge against this minor complainant's biological father, who is the one who had reported him missing. I don't have any reason to believe that a personal bond or a lower bond will be reasonable or sufficient to ensure public safety or to ensure her appearance in court given the evidence of flight.
Mr. Henderson, what's your request with regard to bond?
Oh, a second.
Or to ensure her appearance in court given the evidence of flight.
Mr. Henderson, what's your request with regard to bond?
I think, I don't know if you said $20,000 or $2,000, but the person chuckled. They were like, "What's your request for the bond?" I think it's somewhere online. I forgot. We went over it yesterday. I remember the exact number, but. Can't hear shit.
Ms. Balboa also could be expected not to flee from prosecution while on a bond. She's never been convicted of any violent offense and has no felony convictions of any kind. She has strong ties to this area, won't be going anywhere else while on bond. She's 29 years old and hasn't lived anywhere else.
She has strong ties to the area. I might download this video and fix the horrible audio. If there's time, if I could do it real quick, I'll let this play, but I'll do it in the background real quick if I can. I should have checked all the way through. Private? What?
Sent to represent her.
Second. Download.
Sent to represent her at this bond hearing.
While facing this, while fighting this allegation while on bond. So she does have limited financial means currently to make any loan. Like many individuals, she's going through a period of unemployment and has been for the last 2 months now. She was consistently employed for over half a year cleaning homes, which speaks to her ability to show support. So I'm requesting a $20,000 bond for the second degree felony.
I have a sworn to financial affidavit for Ms. Balboa, which reflects she's been living in a house in Houston for 3 years. She's unemployed.
Damn.
I don't have any reason to believe that.
All right, give me 1 second. I want to play that over real quick. in the editor so you can hear a little bit better. I'm not gonna bother rendering it because it's gonna take too much. Hold on a second. Boom, boom, boom. But all right. Okay. Okay. Hopefully it's not break your ears. All right, let's do it again. Let's see what this guy's saying.
What's your request with regard to bond?
Something else, mono.
First pointing out that Ms. Balboa is merely innocent at this time, is merely facing allegations.
Sound any better?
Feel like evidence to charge her with anything higher. Ms. Balboa also could be expected not to flee from prosecution while on a bond. She's never been convicted of any violent offense and has no felony convictions of any kind. She has strong ties to this area, won't be going anywhere else while on bond. She's 29 years old and hasn't lived anywhere else. She has been living at the same address for 3 years, which also speaks to her ties to the community. Her family, her mother's going to be able to drive her to her court appearances while fighting this allegation while on bond. So she does have limited financial means currently to make any loan. Like many individuals, she's going through a period of unemployment and has been for the last 2 months.
She's going through a period of unemployment. She has ties to the community. Excuse me. He's basically advocating for her. I mean, I guess that's a lawyer is supposed to, for a lower bond or whatever.
Now, she was consistently employed for over half a year cleaning homes. Last 2 months now. She was consistently employed for over half a year cleaning homes.
She was consistently employed doing what?
Employed for over half a year cleaning homes, which speaks to her ability to show.
Cleaning bowls? Consistently employed half a year cleaning bowls?
So I'm requesting a $20,000 bond for the second degree felony.
I have a sworn to financial affidavit for Ms. Balboa, which reflects she's been living in a house in Houston for 3 years. She's unemployed. She was not booked into jail with any cash on hand, no money in savings or checking. She is currently on bond for assault, family violence, impeding breathing. A condition of that bond is that she not engage in conduct that results in her arrest. She's scoring a no on the new violent criminal activity flag, and 3 out of 6 on the new criminal activity scale, 3 out of 6 on a failure to appear scale. She's an average risk. I do believe she's a flight risk, considering she was in the act of fleeing with this child's body. I'm going to set her bond at $500,000. I am not approving a personal bond. If she is able to post bond, I'm going to order as a condition of any bond that she posts that within 1 day of her release from custody, she get an electronic ankle monitor and she will be under house arrest 24.
Okay, cut off right there. 4/7. So that was that. I guess there was nothing much to hear. Just the bond thing. The lawyer was doing what he was supposed to do. I briefly looked at the chat too, and what people were saying is true though. Like, I don't know that cops are going to be, or the FBI is going to be searching and looking for Samuel with regards to the mother and the custody situation. Unless there was like some sort of, like what you see with these stories, like some sort of Amber Alert. And these Amber Alerts, like we've covered previously on some of the other stories, there's requirements. You can't just, it has to be like you saw your child, somebody taking your child, or something. And even that, in some cases, it's still like murky, depending on what state and the different rules and stuff. And just again, really quickly too, to show the people that came in after the fact. This is the person that's advocating on behalf of the mother. And this was the whole thing where the motion to dismiss, because I think I saw some people bring that up in the chat. Let me just reread it again. This was 20 hours ago. Let me get a little closer. It says, today I feel like at least something has gone right. The Galveston County DA saw through Dalton Olson lies and he dropped the charges against Sarah Olson. She is now going to be able to focus on solely she's now going to be able to focus solely on the very tough road ahead. She has to bury her baby and see that everyone involved is brought to justice. Texas really needs to consider laws to get police to enforce court orders. Okay, so that's kind of the whole thing we were just talking about. There's a lot of questions. It would be good to have some sort of legal person, because I'm not a legal person. I'm just reading this and trying to interpret it. I mean, this is not a legal thing here, but some of the court documents. But it says, if that had been done instead of saying it's a civil matter, which I saw many of you guys in the chat just referencing that, they consider it a civil matter, Samuel Olson would be alive today with his mom. Instead, she was arrested for trying to get her child back. And that is less than 1 year later, the little boy is gone. There's a lot to be learned here. And so we looked at this already. This is oh yeah, forgot it does that. Motion to dismiss. This was June 4th, 2021. Interest of justice. That was the judge, Galveston County. The other quick little thing, and then we'll be out of here. I appreciate you guys coming, because I really wanted to do this too, just to come in, check in with you guys, say hi, and also deal with these little weird internet stuff that I've been having. One other quick thing that I'll reread. Saw it here, and I thought this was interesting, because I didn't know about this, if what she's saying is true. It says Dalton Olson went to court to continue to fight his ex, Sarah, for custody of their child on May 24th, exactly 2 weeks after the child was killed. Then on May 27th, filed a false police report with Theresa Balboa claiming Sarah took him. Then on May 28th, he filed for custody of Samuel. This is the most sadistic and evil thing I have ever seen in a family law case. There's no way from May 10th to May 27th he didn't know his child was either missing or dead. Why would anyone leave their child with their fiance and her ex-boyfriend? None of this makes any sense aside from Dalton being aware of the situation and covering it up. If he died on May 10th, why wasn't he at school the week prior? So, I mean, that's kind of interesting too. On May 28th, filed for custody of Samuel. It's almost like, you know what, this is kind of like, just, I don't know why it just clicked in my head. It almost looks like some sort of plot. I don't know this to be a plot for the people watching, the lawyers or whatever. It almost looks like almost like something was planned or some shit. If you look at the timeline. May 28th. I was missing, files for custody, but I mean, it still kind of doesn't make sense. If you knew what was going on, why file for custody? None of it makes sense. and why leave the child with Theresa when you have a protection order against her? I don't know. It's a mess. Let's see the chat real quick. Keisha says, oh, let me put the chat back on the screen. Keisha says, the mother is a victim. She did the right things. Thank you, F. I can't even read that. iCkEdMeL. No, it says FN. Did Dalton even have a job? Was he in rehab? According to what this person posted here, Jill, he says in a video that he didn't have a job. She says here, listen to the background. You can hear Dalton saying he lost his job. Let me play it real quick. See.
I think he could be somewhere with not with us, and we're going to continue to search until we find him. What do you think? Where do you think he could be? Somewhere with not with us, and that's the important thing, is that he is not with us, and we need to bring him back to us. So I can't say where he could be, where he might be. Like, Because honestly, we don't know. At this point, we don't know. All we can do is keep searching and doing, you know, everything we've been doing, and we're gonna continue to do it.
You think he's definitely alive?
Oh yeah. We just keep picturing him sitting watching cartoons, waiting for us. Just sitting there waiting for us, and we're gonna get him. We're gonna find him.
Tell me about your relationship. Did he call you mom? Did he? Or at least
Super mommy. That was his choice. Not.
Yeah, we've seen this video so many times. It like I said multiple times too, it's just so wild to me that somebody could be sitting there or talking and hugging up on grandma and the father and helping with the search and crazy. It remind me. Oh, you know what? Can I show you guys something real quick? Let me see if I have this clip. Can I show you something completely unrelated?
We don't.
This is only, let me see. Let's see. Oh, that's not the clip. That's not the full clip. If I find the clip, I'm gonna find it. I just wanted to show you something how, I mean, there's been oh man, there's so many clips I could think of. God. Think of Megan Boswell, Chris Watts, but I bet you there's one that you haven't seen. Find it. The super chat. Let's see what. FN, thank you for the super chat. So they had all this free time and couldn't watch a kid reported earlier. I'm sorry, this is insane. Yeah, that was a lot of time. There's a large gap that doesn't make any sense. Close this out. I want to show you guys a little clip for 1 second. I need to make like a collage of this, like some of these actors. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm just going to play a couple of seconds of this one. Completely unrelated, but this is just a whole... Sometimes it fascinates me, too, to see some of these people, like the show that they put on. Let me get you guys a full screen. Cedric Jackson, arrested. This was an aunt that was covering for the boyfriend. I don't remember the full story of this, but this woman... I have a better version of this somewhere, but this will get you what you need to know. But this woman was covering up for the boyfriend. The guy like killed one of the kids. It was a house full of kids. Killed one of the kids over some sort of ketchup packet. And he takes it, like beats the child, and then I guess he discards the child in a dumpster. And she's in the home while all this is happening. And she's claiming she doesn't know what happened. And then she's protecting him. And just check it out. This is probably something maybe you guys haven't seen.
We don't know 100% of what happened, but
they're saying your boyfriend may have been arrested in connection to this crime. Can you?
He wouldn't do this.
He wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that.
Charged with endangering a child. This is video taken earlier today of Crystal Jackson being booked into jail. Arrest documents say she lied to investigators for 19 hours.
We all love that baby. He was just the sweetest little baby.
Yeah. That was a crazy story. Should probably follow up on that sometime. Or like Megan Boswell too. There was this crazy clip, this insane clip that I put together. I mean, we're pretty much done with the stream, but I'll see if I can pull these up real quick. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the story until something else comes up. And these people could just have you on a wild goose chase. Here we go. I found it. Okay, let's end off on this video clip. How long did I do this? Let's see. Don't have 10 kids. I know, right? All right, let's do this one. I should do one day. Like, I'm sometimes iffy about call-in shows because it's like, you know, people are gonna call and start saying wild stuff, and you can't let people go too wild. Okay. What did I do here? Okay. This video, I titled it, "Who's the better actor?" I should do a full screen. Chris Watts or Megan Boswell? Oh, this.
She loves to give people kisses. She has a little baby shark puppet. Well, she loves to take baths. She's a happy baby.
Anybody remember Megan Boswell? Yo, what killed me about this whole thing too is that, like, you know what's going on, you know what happened, and then you're sitting here and describing your child and all these things that they love. And you know what's, I had this thought the other day, and I was like, it's amazing that some of these people have like supporters too. Like, after people find out, like, you know, Chris Watts, I believe there's like a whole Chris Watts group of people that support him and believe him, and like I think I don't know if you can send money, but like I know they send letters and love stuff and all that stuff. I was like, damn, these people got supporters.
Hardly ever cries. She is. She giggles a lot, and I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. Yeah, my grandma's very supportive. She always is. It was a good day. She had a little pink bow in her hair and a little Puma tracksuit on. It was hot pink. Well, when they just kind of took off and wouldn't answer anybody, other than look for her, I don't really know. They've all been looking at leads and stuff like that.
This woman is just smiling the entire time. I edited this video and I took all the little awkward quirks and I just banged it together, and then I did a comparison between her and Chris Watts.
Yeah, they didn't know I had court today. She's just a very sweet baby. She's got, you know, the little dimples on her face. She's the cutest baby ever when you see her.
You're reunited with her. What will be the first thing that you do?
Just hug her.
Are you feeling hopeful?
I am. She loves those little applesauce pouches. I am. No, not at this moment.
Is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I've probably called the first day.
If your wife can see this, if she can watch these, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to the person or people that have her that you think they should hear from you?
They should just bring her back. They obviously know, like, what's going on, and, like, you know, they need to bring her back home.
Right now, I don't even want to just, like, throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids.
You see?
Somebody has.
And it just makes me look at Theresa a little bit. Just these weirdos. I maybe it's not. It's more than that. I guess it's like psychotic or psychopath. I don't know what the right terminology is. You know, I'm sure somebody knows. I don't.
Her and they're not
no
safe.
Empathy.
Like, I want them back now. If they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. I mean, my kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life.
Megan's hairballs, yo.
Do you miss her? Are you worried?
Of course I miss her, and, like, I can't tell anything about the ongoing investigation, but they are. I'm sure you all have released an article about the car and stuff like that, so they have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're watching, I just want them to bring her back.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
There we go.
I just want her back.
Oh.
When they usually eat dinner, it was just like, I miss them. Like, I mean, I miss telling them, hey, you got to eat that or you're not going to get your dessert. You know, I'm just like, you're not going to get your snack after. I miss that. Like, I miss them, you know, cuddle up on their couches. They have like a Minnie Mouse couch and a Sophia couch that they cuddle up on and watch, you know, Bubble Guppies or something. It was, that's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like, wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want.
Like, her favorite food is, like, sweet potatoes. She's really sweet. Favorite song is Baby Shark. Just like that kind of stuff. Her favorite food is sweet potatoes. She's allergic to carrots.
She's allergic to carrots?
She's very smart. Like,
you gotta watch out for these kind of people, man. These people are very convincing, and they got everybody convinced around them. I mean, I think people were calling out Megan. I don't know about Chris Watts. I came way late on the Chris Watts thing. There's channels dedicated to that. There's people that have done a lot with the Chris Watts. I never got into it like that.
She quit her own sippy cup at 6 months old, or not a sippy cup, but she quit a bottle, I'm sorry, and went straight to a sippy cup. And like, I would leave her snacks on the floor, like in the little containers, and she'd open them up herself and like get one out at a time. Like, she's just a very smart, very good baby, and I just want her back.
I just want them back.
Man, bro. Oh, this was this whole thing. This was crazy. What was this? I don't know what's going on in here. Yeah, but I guess that's it. I just wanted to end off on that. Wanted to show you some of those old clips. I sometimes do that. I might collect it. Theresa might go on my little compilation eventually one day. Can imagine like dating somebody like that too. They must have the world convinced. Or I don't know if they get high, or it's like something thinking that they're manipulating and tricking everybody, or is it the attention that comes with it all? And somebody asked earlier too about Samuel Olson's father, Dalton. He was supposed to come on the news. He was gonna do, or his lawyer was gonna do a press conference. And by the way, before we end off, some new thing that we've been talking about. They're talking about the 2020 assault charge dropped against Samuel Olson's mother. All right. So let's play that real quick. I don't know if there's a clip. No, it's just an article. Just an article. Let me show you guys that real quick. We were just talking about this. Boom. Can we get something? Not the best. Let's just do this. All right. So 2020 assault charge dropped against Samuel Olson's mother. This is the post we were just reading from Jill. Prosecutors dismissed an assault charge against the biological mother, Samuel Olson, Friday. Court documents confirmed. Sarah Olson had been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, accused of hitting Samuel's father, Dalton Olson, with her car in May 2020. Which, the only thing I'm thinking about that, because they kept saying the last time she saw Samuel was January. So was it May? I believe she was trying to take the child. I don't know. Let's read it. Those charges have been dropped. Olson's attorney on the case, told KPRC2 the decision has stirred mixed feelings. It's bittersweet because our argument the entire time has been, hey, this so-called complaining witness is committing a crime himself, a crime of kidnapping, but we're happy they have dropped this case sooner rather than later. Chris Henderson, who represents Olson on the assault charge. Henderson said that the charge stems from an ongoing custody battle between his client and Samuel's father, Dalton Olson. Sarah's son, Samuel, was reported missing on May 27th. On Tuesday night, police recovered the child's body. We know about all this stuff. His father's girlfriend, Theresa, was charged with evidence tampering with the boy's death. And that's it. So, yeah, we were literally just talking about this from the post, but now it's hitting the news. Like to Houston. So, I mean, that kind of gives a little bit more somewhat credence to the bio mother. I think that there's still a lot of holes and questions. I think that's it. I'm browsing really quick online to see if there's anything else that pops up before we get off. But I think that's it. Typically, I don't think on a weekend there's gonna be anything major that pops up. Samuel. But yeah, thank you guys for joining, man. Please, if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I see that the attorney for Sarah, she's making the waves on La Noticias 45 Houston, Spanish. Let's see.
Que obviamente está ella absolutamente.
Yeah, she's making press over there. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. Thank you for all the likes. Appreciate it. Do the chat real quick. Did the father ever speak yesterday? No. The father canceled. I hang out for like 1 or 2 minutes just to see the chat. The father canceled. And I wonder if he canceled because I kind of think maybe the inconsistencies, or maybe, I don't know, the lawyers thinking maybe we shouldn't talk at this time. I mean, they could say maybe he's grieving, but I think maybe this stuff that came out with Ivory Hecker, that you say you last spoke to your child directly on the phone May 21st, but the court records say he's been dead since May 10th. How did you speak to him if he was already dead? And that you spoke to Theresa on May 22nd, and you hear Samuel in the background. I gotta call this guy back. Good guy. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of the things are swinging around a little bit with regards to the biological mother and father, because now this thing was dismissed. The charge from, well, May, I thought it was January, May 2020, the car incident. And the father's like, there's things that don't make sense. Things don't make sense. And the mother probably was smart to have a lawyer speak for her, have the lawyer come up and speak on her behalf. And maybe they got things going on in the background, because obviously this whole thing was behind the scenes, the dismissal. Thank you for the subscribe. Let me see the chat real quick. Chris Watts told himself, yeah, with those people, you just gotta let them talk. I had a guy in here. I'm not gonna say their name, but with a different story that got really crazy and insane. And he just came up here talking, and there was something kind of not right with him. And sometimes with those people, man, you just let them talk. Give them the microphone. Okay, here you go. Let them talk, because you might be surprised what you hear. And sometimes you don't even hear it initially. You know how many times I've spoken to somebody and then I listened to the conversation after, just taking notes and stuff. There's little things that I miss. Or sometimes if I do like a video with somebody or interview with somebody, we'll be talking and whatever, and then after the fact, there's a lot of things I missed, or there's people commenting down below. Let's see. I think that's it though. I don't have anything else to play. Oh my God. Anybody remember Taylor Rose Williams? Brianna's mother? Oh my God, bro. That's another one.
You know, now.
Another deceiver. Taylor Rose. That one was crazy. This woman. That wasn't that crazy, but she's just another liar. And the child was dead for, it seems like, for probably months or weeks. Let me show you a quick little thing with Taylor. Another story that I covered. Thank you guys. Appreciate the subs and the likes. Hey, what's up? It's iCkEdMeL on the check-in. Taylor Rose Williams. There were some pictures released. We're going to watch some of the news article video and take a look at some of the pictures with regards to the conditions that Taylor was in. Brianna Williams is the mother that reported her own child missing, was found to be lying, and she's been locked up this entire time. I have a pretty extensive playlist here on YouTube and Facebook, so be sure to check it out if you missed the story.
Williams has been in jail since November, shortly after police found her daughter's body, Taylor Rose Williams, in some woods in Alabama.
Williams, who was active duty Navy at NAS.
Brittany Bones, don't get me started on that. Oh, Lord. We could sit here for a long ass time. I'm not going to, but we could. Oh my God. And it's just, this stuff is getting worse and worse.
Jacksonville is now accused of aggravated tampering with evidence, child neglect, and lying to police. And today, prosecutors released thousands of previously confidential pictures.
And I'm curious where we can see these thousands of pictures, because I've only seen a couple. I wonder, I'm probably have to look into it later.
They are using to build their case.
I mean, there's a bunch of evidence on this whole situation. If you can check out the previous videos I've covered on this, like there's a ton of evidence. That's her.
Brianna Williams made it clear she was not talking to Jacksonville detectives when they tried to interview her after they found her daughter Taylor Rose's remains in Alabama.
I don't want to talk. You don't want to talk? Okay.
And these...
We're like, no, you're going to talk. All this bullshit. Talk. Bitch, you're going to talk. Wow. So I forgot I was wilding out. I used to get really crazy. I've toned down a lot, but yeah, covering this stuff, you just get angry. You get so angry. So this looks like this is one. Let me see here.
And these pictures from crime scene.
I guess this is one of the rooms, living room. It's pretty trashy, man. I mean, the condition she was found into, pretty trashy. She was left unattended a lot of the times, according to the neighbor. I mean, this almost looks like just a place where maybe Taylor was left at to fend for herself, and the mother. The conditions were really bad, like because she was being left at home. Taylor, the little girl, and the neighbor. There was one neighbor that said sometimes she'd be wandering outside of the apartment. By herself. A couple times he said she'd be out wandering by herself, and he'd come, which I kind of wonder, like maybe you should have reported that, but maybe in his head he's thinking like maybe this mother is trying to make ends meet. The mother was in the military. I think she was well off. Well, I mean, I don't know what's this. And I guess military doesn't mean you should be well off, really, but so he found her a couple times wandering outside, and he'd bring the little girl back in the house. And the mother would just leave the girl there. And there was like canned foods and stuff like that, found open cans. I don't know if it was in the closet. She was just completely neglected. It was just gone, long period of time.
Detectives leave a lot of unanswered questions. We see Williams.
Bro, that's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That is ridiculous.
His dirty apartment with dozens of boxes strewn around and trash all over the place.
Poor child, man.
A doorknob with blood traced back to Taylor, and a dumpster in the Southside complex with belongings that could be the little girl's. A child's drawing, an outfit, a toy monkey. Then a child's drawing, an outfit, a toy monkey. Then there's her home in Brentwood, which she hastily moved to days before reporting Taylor missing. That's where investigators found these 3 guns. We should point out that someone who helped her move from the South Side to Brentwood said she never saw the girl. Taylor's daycare records from the naval base show she had not been there since April. Investigators said Taylor's mom reported her missing months later on November 6th, telling them she woke up and the girl was gone.
It was all planned out. This is very planned out. You don't feel sorry for somebody like this at all.
The back door left open. Finally, the pictures show the somber scene in Alabama, where search teams discovered Taylor's remains on November 11th. You can see some of the teams from Alabama and Florida gathering evidence. To this day, there's still no cause of death. Brianna Williams' Southside apartment, as crime scene detectives cased it for clues after she reported her daughter Taylor missing. Their attorney's office showed the inside of Brianna Williams' Southside apartment as crime scene detectives cased it for clues after she
almost still walks like with this like arrogance about her kind of way, you know, like kind of like just like kind of her head up, kind of like still tough, trying to put on an act or something.
These documents also show Taylor's daycare attendance schedule at NAS Jax. Her last day there was April 29th, 2019. Taylor's
horrible,
mom
man.
reported her missing months later.
And this story too, it's kind of somewhat interesting when we see some of the patterns. This child too was out of school for a very prolonged period of time. I believe she was dead during that time. And then the mother way after reports her missing. And she makes this whole story that somebody broke into her house or something. She wakes up, or she says she woke up and her daughter was gone or something like that. A whole cockamamie story. How anybody could do that, just abandon a child months on end, have them caged up like an animal. Like an animal. It's disgusting.
On November 6th, saying she woke up and the girl was gone. The back door open.
And where is her father this entire time, right? Coward guy. I saw him one time on one little thing where he didn't want to even open the door. Where's he at? Nothing.
We see the scene in Alabama where police discovered Taylor's remains on November 11th, buried in a shallow grave. There's also video of Williams' interview with detectives.
Can't have head dialogues and we can't have misunderstanding. Are you from Alabama?
I don't want to talk.
You don't want to talk?
Bitch.
Okay.
You don't want to talk. Switch off the lights.
Investigators come in and tell her they need to ask her about what they've found in Alabama. But she tells them she doesn't want to talk, and they leave.
I just don't want to talk about it right now. Yeah, I tortured my daughter for months on end. I'm just kind of tired. Yeah.
I see potential.
Yeah, it's fucking people, man. There was we can talk on another quick one, a more recent story, a Texas story. I feel like Texas is becoming ground zero, man. Texas is like taking over. You guys are ground zero now. I mean, this stuff is happening everywhere, to be honest. It really is happening everywhere, but I don't know what's up with Texas. This is from June 4th. Anybody heard about this? Somebody sent this to me on Facebook, and it's about I believe an aunt. It says boy clings to life after aunt beats him with a rod, forces daughter to help. Oh my God, I didn't read that part. I just read like the first little couple of words. I didn't read the other part. And this is also kind of ties back let me get myself on camera. This also kind of ties back sometimes to where I talk about corporal punishment, which it's a very heated debate, and I'm not here to debate it right now. But some of the problems with that too is that you have these nuts and crazy people. They don't know where to stop. El Paso police on Wednesday released information about an investigation they were conducting in May at a home in Lower Valley neighborhood. Can't read anything. Jessica Nunez, 31, is the accused person in their investigation, police detectives learn. Nunez injured two family members, of ages 4 and 5. They were found injured on May 22nd at Nunez's home. And this is the thing too, man. I'm super paranoid these days, man. I mean, if you haven't seen it, if you don't know it for yourself, you have to be very aware and cognizant of where you're leaving your children, even with family. I'll say it, even with family. You don't know. You don't know what's going on in these people's lives, or the person you're dating. These people, a weekend, 2 days later, they invite them to meet their children and take them out here and there. Hey, you can watch my kid. I mean, even family. I mean, look at these horrible pictures. Police say the 4-year-old boy is clinging to his life, and arrest affidavits for Nunez detail brutal abuse. She's accused. I don't even like covering this stuff. I usually do. I'll sometimes cover this stuff, but I'll stick to the missing persons. I don't like covering gory stuff just to cover gory stuff. People send me that all the time, and I get it, and I thank you for like helping share articles. But this type of stuff happens every day. I have the Newsbreak app. Shit pops up every day. I try not to even look at it because I can't start the day off with something like this. But it is a reality. He had multiple life-threatening injuries, including a brain injury, a collapsed lung, a lacerated liver. The 5-year-old girl was found with injuries that are considered non-life-threatening. A detective trained to investigate incidents involving children interviewed the 5-year-old girl. The detective reported that multiple bruises on both arms, face, and the girl's right ear while they were at the El Paso Children's Hospital looking into the injuries for the 4-year-old boy. The cartilage on the girl's ear was partially torn and bruised. I mean, you know, it's like graphic. It's like it just, you know, they probably shut the stream down for that. Probably age restricted. During an interview with a young girl, she told an investigator that Nunes would hit her and the 4-year-old boy with a back scratcher on their butts. She mentioned to the investigator that they would get hit if they did not listen to Nunes. 4-year-old boy hasn't woken up in almost 2 weeks in his hospital bed after police say his aunt beat him. This miserable wretch. Jessica Nunes. The girl told investigators Nunes slapped her and caused her to fall into a door, hitting her ear and right side of her head. Which I've seen some comments with regards to Theresa. They were saying maybe she was hitting Samuel and something happened. Even if that was the case, which I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say anything of my real thoughts or whatever, but who puts a child in a bathtub for 2 days? What, they put him in ice or something? And then send somebody, and the other person assists and goes to the store and gets the supplies and the storage stuff, and then you're moving the thing. Anyway, back to this. This girl also mentioned that Nunes injured her head again when she threw the trash out. This girl also mentioned that Nunes injured her head again when she threw the outside trash container at her. The arrest affidavit for Nunes also stated that Nunes would fold a cell phone charger and use it to hit the girl in the face and body. Nunes is also accused of yelling, "Shut up, shut the F up," I guess, at the girl. Nunes, who is the children's aunt, was taking care of them when the incident occurred. An additional arrest affidavit for Nunes detailed the injuries to the boy was found to have. According to the affidavit, the boy had bruising throughout his body, a blown left pupil, the eye, a brain bleed, and burn marks on his hands and his genitals. Nunes gave officers various explanations for the boy's injuries, but medical staff at the hospital said his injuries did not fit the explanations and that they were from abuse. Nunes' 4-year-old daughter told police that Nunes would punch the boy in the head, beat his head with a curtain rod, slam his head against the wall, and throw him on the floor. Nunes' daughter also told police that Nunes once made her strike the boy with a curtain rod. She's basically training her daughter into the same person that she is. A doctor told police that the boy suffered from a stroke, a bleeding liver, and had blood in his stomach. Nunes was arrested. Her bond is $1 million. Looks like $1 million, I think, yeah. Who are the parents? Let's take a look at the clip.
Now to our top story, an El Paso woman accused of brutally abusing her niece and nephew, leaving the little boy with critical injuries.
The boy's mother tells us he's in a coma and the damage is very extensive. KFOX 14 News at 5's Holly Bach joins us live from South Central El Paso with more on that conversation that she just had with this little boy's mother.
Okay, there's a mother. Let's see what's...
Robert, Erica, inside of those hospital walls is a 4-year-old boy who is fighting for his life after El Paso police say his aunt brutally beat him and his 5-year-old sister. I want to show you the condition that 4-year-old boy is in right now. These are pictures his mother sent me of him in his hospital.
My question is this the first time? Like, did the mother take her child to see the aunt and then all this stuff happened one time, or is this something over the course of a certain amount of time? Because it was like the first time she never knew this, never expected anything, then, you know, you can't, fault her or anything like that. But we don't know. We don't know anything.
Hospital bed, his hands interlocked with his family's and stuffed animals by his side. His mother tells me he hasn't woken up since May 22nd, and neurologists told them today they're not sure if he will. This all comes as El Paso police arrested 31-year-old Jessica Nunez. They say she was taking care of the boy and 5-year-old girl when the alleged incident occurred. She is being held on a more than $1 million bond. El Paso police were called out to a home on Bob Kennedy in the Lower Valley last month. That's when officers arrived and found the boy unconscious. He had multiple life-threatening injuries, including a brain injury and a collapsed lung. His 5-year-old sister was also found with injuries, including bruises on her arms and face and a partially torn ear cartilage. Now, we have obtained the arrest affidavit, and there are disturbing new details. Police say the 5-year-old girl told investigators Nunez slapped her, causing her to fall into a door and hit the right side of her head. The girl says Nunez told her to say she was injured from falling off of an exercise machine. The affidavit also states that Nunez would fold a cell phone charger and use it to hit the girl in the face and in her body. Now, Nunez is being held in the downtown detention facility center, and she does have a bond hearing tomorrow.
Oh, Lordy.
Now to our top story.
Same thing?
Him in his hospital.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
And now a heartbreaking story.
Or if he's going to wake up. Left crying to her mother, begging for her brother to come home. This is her younger brother, 4 years old, lying in a hospital bed. News today, doctors telling them they're not sure if he's going to wake up. This comes after he and his 5-year-old sister were allegedly beaten by their aunt.
Oh, no. Oh, copyright, please.
Video from Happier Times shows what seems to be a happy 5-year-old girl. But today she's left crying to her mother, begging for her brother to come home. This is her younger brother, 4 years old, lying in a hospital bed for almost 2 weeks now. His hands interlocked with his family's, with his favorite stuffed animals by his side. Their aunt, 31-year-old Jessica Nunez, is accused of beating both of them. They say she was taking care of the children when the alleged abuse occurred.
So apparently this woman's pregnant. What I'm reading on KFOX 14. They were having a little argument in court. And one of the things that the Nunez lawyer argued that the bond should be reduced because it's unreasonable for a person living off of disability. Nunez attorneys also argued that all of her family lives in El Paso and that Nunez would not be going anywhere. They also argued that it would be of high risk for Nunez to stay in jail while pregnant. Prosecutors argued Nunez is a risk to the community. They argued that of her 6 biological children, 6, only 2 remain in her custody. Right? Amazing. Hopefully I didn't kill your ears with that. Sorry. The judge responded to the arguments from both sides, saying Nunez is a danger to anyone in her care. Yeah. Clearly.
Her mother tells me her son hasn't woken up since May 22nd. She says his lungs and heart are getting better, but he's having a hard time breathing on his own. Police say the boy was found unconscious when they arrived to Nunez's home in the Lower Valley. KFOX 14 obtained the arrest report. It says the boy suffered life-threatening injuries, including a brain injury and collapsed lung. His sister had bruises on her arms and face and torn ear cartilage. In an interview with investigators, the little girl told them Nunez hit her hard enough in the face that she fell into a door and hit her head. She added that Nunez would hit her with items like a back scratcher, a stick, and would fold up a phone charger and smack her with it. While Nunez sits behind bars, the mother sits alongside her son's hospital bed, asking for the community's thoughts and prayers while she waits for her little boy to open his eyes. Now, Nunez is jailed on a more than $1 million bond. Her bond hearing is...
Well, guess that's it for that. I don't know, man. Do you think you could do some videos about the government releasing UFO videos and evidence? I've been seeing some things pop up in the article, like on my newsfeed. I saw a couple of them that look kind of interesting. I've always somewhat been into UFOs. I mean, I don't really think about it as much anymore. I used to have all these conversations with friends. I hear that they're supposed to be releasing stuff. UFO release. Wasn't there something recently that came out that was kind of big? UFO 2 days ago. Oh, well, it says government report finds no evidence of UFO aliens. Let me see. Evidence of alien technology and flying objects, but can't rule it out either. Love the headline. Thanks, New York Times. That means they don't know. Basically, they don't know. But this footage was like from 2016, wasn't it? Or was this? Let me play the little quick clip. Some of these articles I don't really trust too much, but NY Times. Let's just see the video about that.
Hi, Verizon launched.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is why I disassociate. I can't think about this stuff all day long. It's just too much, and it's happening all the time. For all the one story that we talk about, for all the little stories we talk, well, they're not little, but for every story that we talk about, there's a bunch of other ones that go on all the time, every day. You guys remember too that lady here in Miami that all right, let's check this out. That lady in Miami that had her child in a refrigerator as like a punishment kind of thing. She got caught and arrested. You know what? I don't want to do full screen because these people are going to claim it. Let's just watch it like this. Yeah, please, HD. Yeah, like you guys are saying, yeah, if I knew somebody that lost custody of a bunch of their kids, I would not be leaving my child over there. I'm already super strict, my daughter and her mother, as far as like who we leave our daughter around. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what we're watching, to be honest with you. I guess this is like a military thing. What happened to the guy that got that killed the girl? Oh. I don't know. It's moving fast. I don't know what that is.
Echo 6-1 Tango Project. Roger. There's troubleshooting.
Did you box moving target?
02.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude.
Well, the thing, yeah, like somebody said, there's so much technology that we don't know about in other governments and maybe our government. Who knows? What happened to the guy that killed the girl in Alabama? Which one are you talking about? I feel like we've covered a couple of Alabama stories. Are you talking about Cupcake? Cupcake story was crazy. Cupcake? Got this lady leaving her child in a refrigerator. I wonder where do they get these ideas? With that whole refrigerator thing, I was like, is this just like some sort of, these people are coming up with new innovative ways to abuse children? So like they'll put the child in a refrigerator, and so the child doesn't have marks and stuff. They'll just stuff him in there. Like some of this stuff you would think it's not real or some sort of trolling. No, it's legit. Oh yeah, I heard about that Canada story. I was thinking of covering that. Mass grave of 215 residential. Ooh. They were indigenous kids, I think, right? The college girl or high school? I don't know. I really don't know. Hey, what's up? Something. No. I don't know. I put myself into a refrigerator when I was a toddler because I wanted to know if the light went out. Refrigerator. I have that video here somewhere. I don't know what happened to that woman. What do you do when you put a child? Like, how does the system deal with that? Do you still get a chance to get your child back? Like, once you put them in a refrigerator? Let's see in this video. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe we'll call it a stream. Trying to see if there's any other quick, maybe some of the more quicker untold stories that I have online that I've done. Oh man. You guys ever saw this? Maybe I'll play this one real quick since we have maybe new people here. This one was and this kind of, I think this one's still kind of ongoing. The mother that left 7 kids alone at home, like for a prolonged period of time. Let's see.
So let's take a look at the recap first, and then we're going to get into some of the new husband, the guy, and him freaking out and resisting arrest.
A mother accused of leaving her 7 kids to fend for themselves. Police say they were alone for months with little food and no
months
supervision. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Nesbro.
And I'm Dewan Strader. NBC6 reporter Jamie Garola is live in North Miami Beach tonight. Jamie, what did the kids tell police about their situation?
Yeah, well, the kids allegedly told investigators that they would rather stay in the care of foster parents than their own mother. The 7 of them lived in this home right here behind me. And
that's crazy, huh? Rather be in the care. Yo, I'd rather be in foster care than be with this woman. That's horrible. That's crazy. I mean, I've heard of like just crazy foster stories. I know people that used to go to the foster care. Yeah, I'd rather be in foster care than be with her. Throw me to the wolves. That's better than being with her. That's what they're saying.
North Miami Beach, investigators say they were left with barely anything to eat and no supervision.
Good morning, ma'am. You were arrested for 7 counts of child neglect.
Each count for each of her 7 children, ages 4 to 17. The judge disturbed about the neglect allegations in this police report against Elidesnes Perez.
The allegations in here are quite alarming, that anybody in this day and age would leave it, besides not putting them in school, leaving your children alone with no food.
Investigators say they responded to this home in North Miami Beach because one of the kids said their mother had not enrolled them in school. But police documented other allegations of neglect.
They didn't have any food. The refrigerator had a package of chicken legs and a minimal amount of rice. The cabinets were empty. This is not a good thing.
The police report also says, quote, they stated that they have to eat rice for breakfast at times because they don't have anything else. They were lacking clean clothes and bedding. The 15-year-old has cerebral palsy, and he stated that he should be getting physical therapy, but his mother has not.
Cerebral palsy, damn.
Taken him.
Actually,
said he was also supposed to have, let me see. He was also supposed to be having surgery, and his mother has not scheduled or even.
But his mother has not taken him.
Actually,
Ma'am,
allowed
do
there
not
to
comment.
have
Do not
The
comment.
last time they went to a doctor was about 5 years ago.
Multiple neighbors
Jesus,
tell us
5
tonight
years.
there was always something happening inside that home.
A lot of like screamings all the time. I guess like the kids would always like, you just hear a whole bunch of screaming.
We also caught up with the woman's husband.
Sacaron el árbol caído ahora de que mi esposo lo abandonó.
He says the accusations aren't true.
How dare you? It's not true. So this is the guy, the new hubby. This is where we're going to see the update regarding this guy. I just want to take this back real quick.
Let's get past this. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Of abandoning her son. A mother accused of abandoning her 7 children to go
That's a
live
good
with
question,
her husband,
Jax.
pleading not guilty to child neglect charges. NBC6 reporter Claudia Docampo tells us what.
So she left the kids, I guess, in her home, and she goes with the new guy, and she's staying with the new guy, and I guess they had a kid together. She leave all the kids and she just go to the new place.
What happened in court?
On October 21st, charging the defendant with 7 counts of child neglect.
35-year-old Elidaisnes Perez was arraigned on charges of neglecting her 7 children in a North Miami Beach home.
I'm going to start on page 5 with Elidaisnes Perez.
Perez pled not guilty in a written plea and did not appear before the judge. Prosecutors say the children ages 4
Double downing, pleading not guilty.
through 17 were living alone in a home near Perez and her husband, Henry Lasso, and their 2-month-old daughter. The children told detectives at times they didn't have any food.
The refrigerator had a package of chicken legs and a minimal amount of rice. The cabinets were empty. This is not a good thing.
Police also arrested Lasso after a standoff with police.
This is where this guy had a meltdown, went crazy. These are the type of people that will wipe out your entire family.
A good thing.
Police also arrested Lasso after a standoff with police when they wanted to talk with him about his behavior. After 3 hours of negotiations with Lasso, officers arrested him and gave his daughter over to the Department of Children and Families. The child was unharmed. Lasso also had an open case for a prior incident with his wife's older children.
2 counts of domestic battery, aggravated battery.
And I find probable cause.
With his wife's older children. Domestic battery.
Domestic battery, aggravated battery.
And I find probable cause, $5,000 bond.
The children also told officers they had no clean clothes and would rather be living in foster care. Right now, they're all under the care of DCF.
That's an embarrassment as a parent. That's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment, yo. Like if your own kids, like, yo, I would rather be in foster care. To these people I don't even know, I'd rather be with these random, I don't know, there's a chance that there's a chance that people might take advantage of me. I'd rather be with them than to be the people that I was raised with, that the womb that I came out of. I'd rather be with these random people. That's just be an embarrassment, dude.
So let's set it for status in about 45 days.
Perez will be back in court on December 14th, and it looks like her case will eventually go in front of a jury. And if Perez is convicted, she would face a minimum of 7 years in state prison and a maximum of 35 years. In Miami, I'm Claudia Docampo, NBC 6 News.
Here's another clip from NBC Miami.
Of the woman who police say left her 7 children to fend for themselves in a home in North Miami Beach. Meanwhile, police say she was living with her husband and their baby in another house. Tonight, her husband
Just drop all the kids for the new guy, right? That's what some of these people are doing for the new person you're with. Leave all the kids in the other house. I got a new man.
That's incredible, huh? The allegations. Leaving his kids for months. Leaving for a new husband. And where's the fathers to all these kids? Is he the father? I guess he's not. Especially with the person reached out to me saying that she knows the father's the 2 older kids' father. Where are the fathers to all these kids?
also hit with charges and that the baby now in the state custody. NBC6's Claudia Docampo has the details on what happened.
Also, he's out on felony bond. Henry Lasso appearing before a bond court judge in Miami-Dade for alleged child abuse. On Friday, Lasso was with his 2-month-old daughter in a North Miami Beach home when officers wanted to speak with him. They say Lasso told investigators that if they tried to take his child, they would have to kill him and his child. After 3 hours.
Yo, man, some of these people, they'll wipe out the entire family. If you saw that one video, one story that we did recently, I can't even remember the name. I'll put the link down below.
That was crazy.
Killed an entire generation. And then took the baby, and we still haven't found the baby till this day. And he off the.
That was another Miami story, that Andrew one. They got killed, like the mother, I think the grandmother, and like the great grandmother. It was like a lineage or something. He killed all of them, I think, with an assault rifle. Takes the baby, goes on a run. There was an Amber Alert issued. Everybody in Florida is like looking for this child and baby. He ends up somewhere like in up north Florida. And so the baby to this day has never been found. he was found and he killed himself. His truck was found like on the side of the road. He was out in the bushes somewhere, killed himself. And when that whole story happened, there was reports that supposedly they thought they saw another lady in the truck or something like that. So people were thinking maybe he handed off the child to somebody else. But those rumors were, they said that it wasn't true. Like, you know how people think they saw something and they didn't. So nobody knows. I don't know what he did with that baby to this day. Andrew, I think Caraballo, nobody knows where he's at. He's got killed out, entire family. When was this? The Andrew story. I don't remember how to say his name or spell it. I mean, the last name. Let's see. Kind of weird how my thing's not working how it should. Okay, let's see. There it is. So I did the story November 7th, 2020. Oh, I did a live stream. It was a pretty nice live stream. Almost 2 hours long, but I did a whole detailed story. When did this happen? I mean, I remember it because I got the Amber Alert. Everybody was going crazy. And there's update stories. The baby's still not found from what I see. Okay. 1 month occurred January 28th. So the beginning of 2020 is when that happened. A long time.
Of negotiations with Lasso, officers arrested
And it was a story from Miami.
him and gave his daughter over to the Department of Children and Families. The child was unharmed. About 2 weeks ago, on September 30th, Lazo's wife and the child's mother, Elide Sainz Perez, was also in jail.
You were arrested for 7 counts of child neglect.
North Miami Beach police officers said the children ages 4 through 17 have been living alone and Perez had not enrolled them in school. According to the arrest report, Perez had been staying with Lasso and their newborn at another residence.
They go based on what one of the 2 kids say, and that's it.
So mama's doubling down. Y'all just going off of what the kids are saying. The kids are lying, neighbors lying, everybody's lying. How dare y'all?
You're doubling down.
So she pled not guilty, saying not true. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
They go based on what one of the 2 kids say, and that's it.
The children told officers they had no food or clean clothes and that they would rather be in foster care.
Mama saying that's a lie.
Lasso also has an open case for a prior incident with his wife's older children.
2 counts of domestic battery, aggravated
All right, I think we can kind of move it on from this.
Charged with something.
Yeah, from this we'll move it on. Last thing, somebody mentioned about Orrin and Orson, like update. I see one post on I don't know if there's a video. We can play that off and then we'll end the stream because we've been on here for a while. Is it a video? Maybe it's not even a video. I know that there's people like YouTubers that are local to that area that I've been searching. In the news, to me, that I haven't really seen much. I check every now and then. Let me just show you this this post right here, if I could show it. Okay, make it a little better. This was posted 4 days ago by Turn223. It says, so far, according to BPD, in connection to this case, 83 people have been interviewed, 44 search warrants have been conducted on residences and electronic devices. 170 items have been seized. Over 200 tips have been received. 16 mass area searches have been conducted. and 3 searches have been conducted outside of California. They're still not found. You know, there is people that are, I guess, police, law enforcement, but I've seen, I believe there's YouTubers. There's a guy, I think, AV Watchman. I believe they're doing stuff. Like, he's doing it all the time. And so I would say that since there's not many updates in the news, if you're really interested in that story, I'd always say go support like the local or the creators that are constantly covering that story or whatever story. So, because I was doing kind of the same thing with Noemi, which that story kind of turned to where it turned. And what about the little boy that they found walking? Oh, I heard about that. I don't know what turned up with that. What happened to the... I saw that. I just read the headline. I kind of shook my head. California boy wandering alone. I saw that. I don't know anything about that. Oh no, it's not popping up. Was that California? Or was it Texas? I saw something for California, I thought. Wandering alone near border. No, there's something recent. Try walking alone. Oh. I don't know, I can't find it. Yes, I heard he's in foster care. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people involved with that California thing. It got really crazy to me. Like, it became too much. I didn't want to be involved with all the, you know. But I also think that the local people, they'll probably be able to bring a lot to a case, well, to a story, or to people that really want to follow it. Because the news may not update it all the time like that. Yeah, and I guess that's it. I guess that's it for the stream. Near Arizona? California grandpa arrested on that boy. There's so many missing kids and so many kids turning up. We don't even know which kid we're talking about. Huh? Sincere and Classic, the birth names. That whole thing is just, I'm not even going to try to wrap my mind around all that. But boy left by someone trying to come into the U.S. Was it that? Was it an immigration thing? That immigration stuff is crazy too. What's going on with that? Everybody's just dropping off their kids because they know, you know, just leaving them. Let's see. Missing child. Apparently there's a bunch of missing kids that were found recently. Oh, I only said 3 actually. Missing child in Fort Wayne located. Oh, I think this is the kid that I saw. I don't know. Let's see. 11-year-old boy was found. I don't even know where this is. All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to get out of here, though. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I'm going to, like I said earlier, I'm going to talk to this person about a missing woman in North Florida. I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to talk to her. I'm supposed to call her. Something that's not in the news. There's a lot of missing people, too, that don't make it to the news. And it's really important for the family or friends or whatever to advocate it, just to even put out a post or something. To get the ball rolling, because I think with this story, I'm gonna try to pull up the DM real quick. I don't want to say the name right now, but it's in the area where Veronica Reyes Diaz went missing. Okay, here we go. Nope. Oh, this person. 21 years old. Last seen wearing a dark blue jacket, t-shirt, sneakers. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna work on that. Look forward to the new content, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me. Please be safe. People are nuts everywhere on the street. You cut somebody off, somebody's pulling out a gun and shooting at you. People are just kind of just on edge right now. So be safe, man. Enjoy the weekend. And I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. Love you guys. All right, peace. The delay a second here. And I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support.